me. I was here. I was here the whole time. You didn't. Oh, you missed it. What happened was, see, I was going down 8th Street and you was going up. And so when we was going, we passed each other. But I'm here now. Yay! Woo! It has been an amazing summer. Let me tell you about it. Fully funded Kickstarter campaign for the Stardust Warrior Guided Journal. Yes! And we're starting new projects. Yes! So let me calm down. Whew. Bring it down. Because we've only just started the video. I can't be this hype already. Is that okay? You okay with that? Okay, let's go. So we're starting a new video series. We are turning your webcomic that is amazing. Okay? This is amazing. All right? You know where it's from, but it means delicious, amazing. Okay? And I want you to know that if you have a webcomic, comment it below. Like, drop the links. I need new reading material, so where are your comics at? And we're taking those webcomics that I'm definitely going to read. I'm going to love them. I'm even thinking about starting to do reviews, but that's another video for another time. We're making them into books. So, you know, are you ready? Are you ready for this process? I got notes, so if I'm looking down, I don't have a projector yet, so that I don't have to look down. So I'm gonna be like this. Okay, all right. So you should do this. You should print your webcomic, because I did. Snack Time is a webcomic. This is Snack Time the Picnic, and my biggest thing is I'm ready to like update it and fix it because my art's changed and things have changed. But I'm about to do it again. So instead of redoing it, let's just make another one. Snack Time the Playground coming soon. This summer, actually. So, you know, stay tuned. Printing your webcomic is a great way to give your readers a permanent piece of their favorite stories. Permanent. I can have it. If my phone dies in the middle of the night when I can't sleep, I can't read that comic anymore. I gotta go to bed. But if I had your book, I could keep reading. I could keep reading. And that is amazing. Printing your comic can also be a great transition from only digital media to print media. It gives you the option of having bigger audience. More people can see your book because it's a print book, whether you sell it on Amazon or you go with more traditional publishing. And it's on the shelves in Barnes & Noble. There are so many webcomics that have started as webcomics and now they're print comics. Top of the list I can think of, Lore Olympus. If you think of it in like reverse, a lot of the DC comics are becoming webcomics. Like Wayne Family Values is now a webcomic and it's great. We love Batman. Who doesn't love Batman? If you don't love Batman, you've never wanted to do crime. Okay, maybe I shouldn't say that. Don't do crime, kids. Don't do crimes. Lastly, your webcomic, now printed, can make you profits. Being an artist is hard, but if you can get a little change for it, it makes it a little bit easier. So, how do we do this? How do we go about, you know, what are the ingredients? What do I need to buy at the grocery store to turn my webcomic into a print comic? So, here are my ingredients. Number one, have a good webcomic with a nice chunk of episodes. Then you're going to go down the dairy aisle and make sure you got your formatting and panel layout. They're going to be side to side together. They're going to come in together in a pack. And number three, sometimes you might, it's up to your flavor palette, you're going to need to rewrite that script. Because depending on the age of your webcomic, you might need to reformat it, or it might be something that is missing some details, some transition from episode to episode to chapter to chapter. And then we're gonna print that book. Yeah, and that's it. That's it. Roll credits. See you next time. I'm joking. Don't leave. Don't leave. Now let's break it down a little bit more. So step one, having a webcomic with a good amount of episodes. If we look at Snack Time, this, let's open it up. This is available on Amazon right now. And so if you haven't seen Snack Time the Picnic, this edition, then it is available on Amazon right now, and it is amazing. Now, this one is not like the best, so some editing areas that your girl need to go fix, but we'll worry about that another time. But here we are. I've got 10 chapters. Now, nine of these? No, I have 8 chapters. I thought I had 10. Who knew? Okay, well, 8 of these, sorry, 7 of these chapters are, I'm only my authentic self, so if I mess up my words, just know that you're getting a real thing. This is a real conversation, okay? 7 of these chapters are available online, and 1 is exclusive only to the comic. And each episode is episodic. It's a couple of panels, and that's the story. This one, I'm pretty sure you've seen. It's dinner time. The kids want the chili dogs, and then the kid that asks for it actually likes it, and then the other kids are like, the co-signers are like, no, just no. And of course, I have my little scoreboard right there in the back, and we start the next chapter. It's amazing. So that was I only had 7 episodes. Now I have more than that, but it was just picking those episodes and saying, hey, I'm going to print these and I'm going to add the bonus. And I like adding that bonus part because that's something makes it even more special to your readers to get into it. Now, so if you're doing single page comics where like each update of your webcomic is a page, the normal copy or count for a webcomic or a comic book, traditional floppy, is anywhere from 20 to 22, 24 pages. Anything more than that is a bonus. So you have to decide how much you want to offer. My recommendation, do a story arc. Each book should be an arc going to the next transition. Or do that whole chapter of, introduce your characters. What's happening next? And then, how do we kind of move into our next plot point? So just give it a nice sizable chunk that is a worthy book amount. And, next up, formatting. Formatting was a struggle. It took me a long time. I feel like it took me a long time to really learn comic book formatting, because what I originally did for my sweet baby, The Picnic, is I went to Pinterest, looked at panel layouts. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna use this one for this one. I'm gonna use this one for this one. And I'm gonna use this one for this one. And in just this year alone, I've learned when you take the time and study and you learn, you're like, oh, there's a lot different going on. I'm currently working through some comics to like do better, but I'll tell it to you this way. Given what I know now, some of this isn't a bad start, but if we look at the first panel, yeah, we've got a wide panel that does establish the shot, and that's great. Then we've got our side panels here, and what I wish I had done is given this more details, really setting the scene, really establishing what room they're in, what kind of location. And those are some tips that we'll cover later in another video in our series about just how to format and how to, when you're transitioning from webcomic, which traditionally you just scroll, you got these really long panel frames, into establishing the shot and setting the pacing for the story. Because a long scroll from like day to night isn't really necessary. You don't want that to be a whole splash page in the middle of your comic. That's kind of, how else could we illustrate that? Okay, so think about it. Now, wait for it. 3. So the saying goes, when you know better, you do better. You may be like myself and may need to rewrite that script. I laugh because I tried to not rewrite the script. So I have another webcomic, surprise, called The Adventure and the Adventurer. It's on my upcoming summer release list. So lock in, check out my Substack for more details on that. And yeah, so The Adventure and the Adventurer is only done in single illustrations. There's not really a story. You kind of can, it's a little bit implied in the descriptions of the story, but there's not much plot there. And it only took until like I was nearly at the end, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna go back and redo it. But I've changed my mind. I'm pivoting to finish all of the art as one project, and then going back and really rewriting the actual story so that you know the character's name, you know the journey that the adventure and the adventurer go through. And it's an amazing story of finding yourself after grief. So, but if you're stuck with script writing, here are some helpful questions. Number one, what is the story about? Adventure and the Adventurer is about this young woman. She loses her grandmother. She gets into like this rut of the day-to-day mundane life. And she is propelled into an adventure that she never intended to go on. When did this story happen? The time setting, it established that really important world building that we've talked about in comic book making, where we know when the story takes place, whether it's summer, it's fall, whether it's, you know, in the future, in the past. No, the adventure and the adventure takes in place in this fantasy made up world, I'd say during the summer, because you have some summer activities going on. It's a lot of clear skies, maybe a few rainy days, but for the most part, the weather is nice. Then, where did the story happen? Remember I said that fantasy world, it's all a part. The when and the where go together. Because if your story takes place at night, I don't want to see no sun. If your story takes place in an alley with some rats, I don't want to see a country hog. You feel me? All right. Then next, what was the main problem in the story? So in The Adventure and the Adventurer, where I'm trying to pinpoint the problem is a person who didn't want to go on a journey is now going on a journey. So there's going to be a lot of, you know, internal conflict, or just conflict with the characters of, I don't really want to be here, but I gotta be here. You ever felt like that, where you gotta go some? Part 3. What is the problem of the story? The conflict. What is propelling our character into their adventure? For The Adventure and the Adventurer, we have our main character who is on this journey they don't want to be on. It's often like going to somewhere as a favor to somebody else, and you don't want to go. So we'll explore that as we get into the script writing of that. But these are questions, again, questions that will help get the script written. Who was in the story? So of course we have our main character. We have the sidekick. We have, okay, I'm not going to even be vague. We have Camille, our main elf character. We have Bliss, our bird animal companion. And then we have side characters that should pop up throughout this story. The other elf that they meet in the woods. You know, there's that weird frog that's in the guidebook store or the magical bookstore. So just these other characters that, you know, will show up throughout the story. Then, how is the problem solved? And that is our resolution. How does the story end? So, what happens to Camille? Do you want me to tell you? Do you want me to tell you? I'll wait until we get more into that story before I reveal. Okay. So, easy peasy. That's your list. What, when, where, what, who, how. Yes, there are 2 whats. What is the story about? What is the problem? Okay. What is the story about? When did the story happen? Where did the story happen? What was the problem in the story? Who was in the story? And how was the problem solved? Very easy. I got these questions from a book report and I was like, this is a really great structure for just getting those draft 1 beginner ideas for your script out. So check them out. I can share if you like. Just comment below script tips and I'll send them your way. Number 4, step 4. Yes. Okay. Wow, we're already on step 4. I can't believe it. Oh my gosh. Printing. Some would say others, easy, others would say a challenge. Okay, so I'm going to speak on my experience. I print my books through Mixam. I print my books through KDP. I've had the most success with these two platforms. I enjoy them. I haven't tried other platforms because it's been a bad experience for me. I tried Kablam and they kept I kept reformatting my files, and then I send them my files and they get my files, and then I never got my book proof. But not to worry. Later on in the series, we will discuss all the printing options, and we even gonna try them out. Okay, I'm gonna do that for you, all of them. So if you know printing companies that you rock with, that you love, drop them down below. I'm gonna check them all out. All right, and that's the end. Bye bye. Da 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 da. The moral of the story is printing your comic is a very rewarding experience. Having a webcomic already made is the easy part. All it takes is really formatting the panels of your webcomic for a good story flow. Double checking your script. Make sure that story will make the sense, okay? Because we don't want to say, oh, I printed it, but my readers didn't enjoy it. Something was missing. And your job is to write that in. Then the actual printing process. Find your preferred printing company, somebody who's going to work for you. Not you work for them, they work for you. You can format the files, you can upload your files, you can get your book on time and a good quality. In the end, the process, you will have a tangible edition of your webcomic for you and your readers to love forever. Tune in next time where we're going to dive deeper into each one of these steps. So we'll go back to step 1 and having a webcomic with a whole bunch of episodes. I thank you for watching. I think we'll do some quick announcements. So if you missed the Kickstarter campaign, the journal should be, fingers crossed, because it's the middle of the week for me, that it will be available in the upcoming weeks. After all my Kickstarter backers and supporters get their copies, you'll have your copy. You'll be able to get it on Amazon, or I'm still trying to work out the logistics of having like a website, my own website, where you can buy from me. If not, I'll drop a Mixam link and put it in my link tree. So there's that. Projects that I'm working on this summer. So of course we have, finishing the journal. I just want to do a few tweaks on a few pages, just giving you more. It's the coloring pages, okay? I'm not a big fan of what I have. I feel like it's too plain. It's too bleh. So we're going to update that, make it shiny, make it beautiful. And then we're launching into Snack Time the Playground. So that's book 2 to this wonderful series. So I'll be taking episodes from the webcomic plus a bonus episode and rub it all together. Rub it in. Yes. And as well as Snack Time Summertime Snack Time. Still working on the title, but basically I did a winter edition coloring book for Snack Time. Now I'm gonna do a summer edition coloring book, activity book, because your girl can make a word search. I'm sorry. I just really love my characters and my stories and just doing all of these amazing things with them. So lock in on that. And we have Adventure and the Adventurer. So we'll do the art book where I'll be finishing all of the unfinished prompts. I did all the sketches. I did all the sketches. I just didn't do the digital art. So I'll have that. And that is it. Those are my summer plans. Oh, I'm working in seasons. So lock in now. So that way when the falls drop, because fall is my favorite. I'm trying not to go crazy, but I have this one thing that I've been holding on for years. And this is just a year of releasing everything. Just I'm making everything. I'm not doing a motivational message right now. Cameron, you're not doing a motivational message. But come on, it's my thing. No, this is not the place for this. We're talking about making your comic. So please have the most amazing day. Stay tuned, stay blessed, stay magical. I love you. Bye.